When you hear the term luxury car, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Unmatched power. A roaring V12 engine. A machine that dominates the road with sheer horsepower. That's what most people expect, right? But here's something shocking. Many of the most expensive luxury cars in the world actually have less horsepower than much cheaper performance cars. Let's take an example, the Rolls-Royce Phantom. This stunning, handcrafted masterpiece costs over $500,000, yet it has only 563 horsepower. Meanwhile, a Dodge Challenger Hellcat, which costs around $80,000, has a massive 717 horsepower. That's over 150 more horsepower in a car that costs 6 times less. And it's not just Rolls-Royce, other ultra-luxury brands like Bentley, Maybach, and Aston Martin often have less horsepower than some muscle cars and high-performance sedans. So what's going on here? Shouldn't the most expensive cars also have the most powerful engines? Is horsepower even important in luxury cars? And most importantly, why do people still pay $500,000 for a car with less power than a muscle car? Let's break it all down. Keycap 1. The truth about horsepower: it's not everything. Most people think that higher horsepower equals better car. That's not exactly true. Horsepower is just one factor in performance, and luxury cars aren't designed for high-speed racing. They're built for comfort, elegance, and prestige. Sports cars like the Lamborghini Huracan, Ferrari 488, and Dodge Challenger Hellcat are engineered to shock you with power. They have aggressive acceleration, track-focused aerodynamics, and high-revving engines that make you feel like a race car driver. Luxury cars. Completely different philosophy. Instead of raw power, they focus on delivering a smooth, effortless driving experience. A Rolls-Royce doesn't need 900 horsepower because it's designed to be driven like a private jet on wheels, gliding over the road without making a sound. A Dodge Hellcat might have 717 horsepower, but when you step on the gas, it launches forward like a rocket. In a Bentley Continental GT, you press the pedal, and the car accelerates silently and effortlessly, without throwing you back into your seat. This brings us to the second major reason why expensive cars have less horsepower. Keycap 2. The hidden factor: weight plays a huge role. Let's compare two cars. Right arrow: the Bugatti Chiron, a hypercar with 1,500 horsepower, top speed of 261 miles per hour, and a quad-turbocharged W16 engine. Right arrow: the Rolls-Royce Phantom, a luxury sedan with 563 horsepower and a top speed of 155 miles per hour. At first glance, you'd think the Bugatti would absolutely destroy the Rolls-Royce in performance. And that's true if we're talking about speed, but there's more to the story. Weight plays a huge role in performance. The Rolls-Royce Phantom weighs nearly 6,000 pounds due to its thick soundproofing, handcrafted materials, and advanced technology. Meanwhile, the Bugatti Chiron is much lighter, allowing it to maximize every bit of its horsepower. This is also why ultra-luxury cars tend to have big, powerful engines, but they don't always show crazy acceleration numbers, because they're moving a lot more weight. A car like the Dodge Hellcat, for example, is designed to be fast at all costs. It's built with lightweight materials, a stripped-down interior, and an aggressive powertrain. That's why it has more horsepower despite costing much less. But luxury car buyers aren't looking for speed alone, they want a car that feels expensive. And that brings us to the next reason. Keycap 3. The ultimate luxury: smooth, effortless power. Luxury isn't about brutal acceleration, it's about effortless motion. In a Rolls-Royce, Bentley, or Maybach, the goal is to never feel the engine working. A Ferrari or Lamborghini needs high RPMs to unleash its power. You have to rev it up, shift aggressively, and control the car carefully. But in a Rolls-Royce, the engine is so refined that you barely hear it. Let's take the Bentley Continental GT. It has a 542 horsepower W12 engine, but instead of screaming like a Lamborghini, it delivers power in a smooth, quiet, and controlled manner. Even at 200 miles per hour, the car barely makes a sound inside. That's what makes luxury cars special. The power is there, but it's never in your face. It's controlled, refined, and smooth, exactly what wealthy buyers want. Keycap 4. The cost of true luxury: it's not just about performance. A Dodge Hellcat might have more horsepower than a Rolls-Royce, but does it have Checkmark hand-stitched leather interiors made from the finest materials. Checkmark diamond-encrusted analog clocks worth $20,000. Checkmark an ultra-quiet cabin that blocks out 99% of outside noise. Checkmark a suspension system so smooth, it feels like you're floating on air. That's what you're paying for when you buy a luxury car. It's not just about the engine, it's about the experience. High-end brands like Rolls-Royce, Bentley, and Maybach put years into designing every detail of the car, from the stitching of the seats to the way the doors close without making a sound. A muscle car like the Dodge Hellcat is built for raw power, a Rolls-Royce is built for unmatched comfort and exclusivity. Keycap 5 the status symbol, why people still buy luxury cars. At the end of the day, luxury cars aren't about bragging rights over horsepower, they're about prestige, exclusivity, and comfort. When you drive a Rolls-Royce, you're not trying to outrun people, you're making a statement. A Ferrari might scream, "Look at me. I'm fast." A Rolls-Royce whispers, "I've already made it." It's about class, elegance, and the feeling of ultimate success. Car final thoughts, would you rather have more horsepower or more luxury? So next time someone says, "Why does this luxury car have less horsepower than a sports car?" you'll know the answer. Horsepower isn't everything. Would you rather have a 1000 horsepower sports car that shakes your bones, or a smooth, ultra-luxurious ride that makes you feel like royalty?